Here is my current everyday carry, and I've changed my everyday carry gun, or I should say more correctly, my everyday off-duty carry gun. I've changed it a lot over the years, and right now I'm carrying this. This is an XD9 Subcompact from Springfield Armory. The XDs have kind of a love-hate following. There's a lot of people that love these things, a lot of people out there that hate them. There's some people in the middle about them. I actually like these guns. If you've watched my videos before, you already know that yes, I do like Springfield Armory products. I'm not paid by them to say that or anything like that. I am nowhere near big enough on YouTube to get paid by any gun company to say anything. But I do like the products that they have. Now, I know this isn't made in the US. This is basically, the XD9 is basically a rebranded HS2000 knockoff from Croatia. And some people rag on the gun because of that. They say, well, I don't want a Croatian gun. I kind of find it funny that you're going to rag on a gun from Croatia, but yet a gun from Austria gets all the accolades these days. So to me, country of origin doesn't matter a whole lot. I kind of look at the quality of the piece and doesn't fit my needs. So the XD9 Subcompact, the reason I went with this is what I wanted to find in an everyday carry piece is something that is easy to operate, built tough, very accurate, and just something that I can run without having to worry about upgrades. And I'm not talking about simple upgrades like night sights. I put night sights on all my stuff. Side note, these are True Glow Pro Series night sights. I really, really like them. Very well made, but I have these on some of my other handguns as well. But in any case, night sights, if they don't already have night sights, I just put night sights on handguns. What I'm talking about for upgrades is like stippling and different triggers and this and that and the other thing. Gunsmith type work. This doesn't need it. And I don't want to do that in an everyday carry type thing. So another thing I looked at is I wanted firepower to size ratio. So the way these things are sold is you get one of the 13 round flush fit magazines and you get a 16 round. At least that's the package that I bought. Now I bought this and it had the additional package you send in to Springfield Armory to get the extra magazines. So and you get the extra little holster and mag carrier too, which that doesn't really mean anything to me. But what I wanted was the extra magazines, and it's for free. It's kind of a little promotional thing they're running right now. I really, really like that because I like to have extra mags. If one mag goes down, I could just replace it. And I have extra flush fit mags and extra full-size mags for this. So that's a huge plus for me. I also wanted something that could be a jack of all trades. I can carry it on my hip during the day, and at nighttime, I can throw it in my nightstand, and it'd be a good home defense gun in the middle of the night. This fits that bill perfectly. Say what you want about Springfield Armory as far as, you know, there's the gamut of stuff. Well, it's made in Croatia. It's a knockoff of Glock. It has a high bore axis, which I'll tell you right now, forgive my straightforwardness, but that's a bunch of bullshit. High bore axis, yes, the bore axis is a little bit higher on this than a Glock, but I shoot this just as flat. There is no muzzle flip on this gun. I'm not shooting fancy loads in it, I'm just shooting, the load of choice is just 150 grain Federal HSTs. They perform good out of the shorter barrel. That's why I chose that round. But this thing is a flat shooter. No problems. It's a 9mm flat shooter. I have no issues with the recoil. So I think the high bore axis thing, if you guys want to see high bore axis, I know of a bunch of older guns out there that have a really high bore axis. And I can show you those if I ever get my hands on them if you want. But the bore axis on this thing, it's not an issue. It really isn't. In fact, compare this with like some of the double action, single action handguns on the market like a SIG. And then you can see what I'm talking about as far as a bore axis difference. So anyway, all that stuff aside, all these little things that people say, people love to gripe about the grip safety. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me one bit. Never notice it. I've never had a failure because of it. I've never had any issue with doing any type of remedial action as far as practicing remedial action or anything with it. It doesn't bother me. Your mileage may vary on it, but for me, it's just fine. But all that aside, this thing has run flawless for me. Granted, I don't have a super high round count yet. I'm still shy of 1,000 rounds, but the dang thing worked right out of the box. And that's with multiple different types of ammo. So it's been insanely reliable for me, extremely accurate, very soft shooting. It fills my hands well. It feels really good in my hands. It mimics the grip angle of my M&P, which is my duty gun. I have an M&P 40 as a duty gun, and I wanted to make sure I got something that was close to that. And what I mean by that is I don't want to carry an M&P 40 for duty use and then turn around and get a Glock 19 for off duty. Grip angle's different. It's a little bit different body mechanics, and I don't want those to collide with each other, especially if I'm on duty and I have to draw my M&P 40 in a bad situation and then I revert to a Glock and I end up shooting my rounds off target. I really don't want that. So I wanted something that mimicked closely the feel of my M&P, but I didn't want to get an M&P. I know some of you are saying, well, why don't you just get an M&P compact? It's a perfect thing. It is, but I gotta be honest with you, I like the M&Ps. They're just not my favorite gun. If I'm going to spend my money on something, I want to do something a little bit different. And I actually do like the XDs a little bit better. Trigger's good. Takedown is good. I actually prefer the takedown more over Glocks. Very easy takedown. Very easy to maintain this gun. Now, this right here is the extended magazine. I can throw flush fit in. There it is. Nice small package. The firepower to size ratio is great. This right here is a, 14 round package. And it's smaller than a Glock 19. I got 13 rounds in the mag plus 1 in the pipe. Now when I get done for the day, all I have to do, pop this out, insert this, and now I have 17 rounds for home defense. And I can even carry it if I chose, for whatever reason, to carry. If I just said, well, I want 17 rounds versus 14, then I can throw this on and carry it as well during the day. Bottom line is, when you look at a gun, try to look at the facts behind the gun versus what is said on the internet. There are some people that love to just bash on Springfield Armory. I've got a good friend of mine that he rags me for having this damn thing, and that's fine. It is what it is. And it's just good nature ribbing, but I like it, and I will gladly rely on this thing if I need to. I have no qualms about it. In my hands, this thing works really well. Your mileage may vary. The gun itself is just a tool. And honestly, when you look at the gun market today, the big players, and I'm talking about the big players, I'm not talking about the little boutique handguns and stuff that are out there, but the big players, I'm talking Springfield Armory, Smith & Wesson, SIG, Glock, those guys in the striker fire market, all of those guns are reliable. They have to be in order to remain competitive. If they weren't reliable, they just wouldn't gain the traction that they did. Springfield Armory XD is an example of that. They're everywhere, and they're being bought. People buy them. People buy them, and people sell them. They trade them. Maybe they buy one, and then they realize, well, I want a Glock instead. Okay, and they sell them off and trade them. But you know what? The ones that are sold off are bought. People buy these things and they use them. So that's got to tell you something. Look at the design of the gun itself. Feel the gun yourself if you can. Look at the specs. Look at torture tests, stuff like that. Try to find the most non-biased thing you can about the gun in question. That's what I did with this, and that's why I prefer it. I think the XD9 is a great gun. I like the subcompact, and I'll suggest it to people looking for guns. Try out Springfield Armory. Again, I'm not paid at all by Springfield Armory to say that. And I'll tell you right now, I'm kind of pissed off at Springfield Armory because of the crap they did recently regarding some legislature in Illinois, and I don't blame anybody if they never buy from Springfield Armory again. So I will say that there's some issues going on with Springfield Armory. I think they need a change of command over there at that little company. So anyway, I don't want to get on too much of a tangent. I'm kind of running long-winded here. Bottom line, I carry this thing now. I recommend it to other people. I can do a more technical review of this. I've talked about Springfield Armories in the past, but this is just more of a kind of a babbling mindset type video. So I hope it didn't bore you too much. But again, give me your thoughts on these things, good or bad. Lay it out there in the comments. That's the beautiful thing about free speech, is everybody has an opinion and it should be shared. And I welcome free speech on my channel. So, all right, thanks a lot for watching, and stay safe.